Welcome to the Mountains of Influence podcast. I am Abimbola Oleide, and on this beautiful podcast, I'm going to be your host and your fellow traveler on this incredible journey. This podcast is more than just conversations, it's a movement, okay? Here we explore the remarkable stories of kingdom-minded professionals who are not just making waves but transforming industries with God at the center of their mission. Does that sound like a good plan? Yeah, it is God's plan. Today we begin this exciting journey with theme that sets the tone for everything: deployment to domination. What does it mean to discover your place of influence and truly dominate your God-given mountain? That's what we're going to unpack on every episode. But we're going to dive in every day, every week. We're going to feast from the wisdom of those God has sent ahead of us, you know. And I want to thank you for joining me on this amazing adventure. Whether you are listening on your morning commute, during a workout, or while winding down, or you're watching this on YouTube, I believe God has something special for you here today and every time. I believe God has something special for you on every episode. And some of you, you already know your mountain of entertainment, education, fashion, social reformation, various mountains. Anywhere that you are having influence, that you're dominating, that is your area. But every episode, I assure you, the stories of these amazing professionals, this top tier professional, is going to inspire you and is going to give you deep insights that you can also use in your industry, even if they're not from your industry. So the foundational truth is that every believer has a mountain of influence, like I've said before, a place where God has uniquely positioned you to lead and make an impact. Whether that's business, media, education, government, family, arts, or religion, your mountain is not just a career choice. It's a divine mandate. It's a divine assignment. This podcast was created for people like you, kingdom-minded professionals who are called to operate with excellence in the marketplace while staying firmly rooted in kingdom principles. After all, we are kings and we are priests. So now you might be wondering, how do I go from simply doing my job to dominating in my field for God's glory? That's where the idea of deployment comes from. Deployment is about discovering your gift, aligning with God's plan, and stepping into the mission field He has prepared just for you. And when you step into that mission field, something incredible happens. You are not just working, you are representing the kingdom. You are leading with purpose and creating with excellence and building a legacy that points back to God. Throughout the podcast, we are going to be hearing from top-tier kingdom-minded professionals who are dominating their mountains with integrity and faith. They will share their struggles, their wins, the lessons God has taught them on the way. Is that good or good? Well, to give you a taste of what's coming, let me share a quick story from one of our upcoming guests.
I failed courses. Those were years of great disappointment. There was great expectations from parents. But I keep moving. I have built that solid foundation where many other fantastic and positive things can be consolidated upon, that same foundation. What kept me through was my why. What motivated me to go and do a PhD? I did not go and do a PhD because I wanted to be referred to as doctor or professor. Even during a PhD, I've been evicted. I couldn't pay rent. At some point, I had to sleep in a mall. I had to sleep in a mall for 3 nights because I didn't have a roof over my head. That was the moment I built very, very scarce soft skills like resilience. But I'm thankful to God that God has made me a light, not just in light, but also in darkness. A lot of people also don't know this. In London, I go on the streets of London every month to preach Jesus.
Oh, amazing. Okay. Did you enjoy that? Good. This is the kind of wisdom we'll be unpacking together in every episode. Now let me share a bit of my own story. For years, I wrestled with the idea of my calling, and I knew I was gifted, but I didn't know where I was supposed to be deployed. I prayed, fasted, and sought counsel, but the breakthrough came when I realized that God is not just looking for people who are willing, He's looking for people who are available. That shift changed everything for me. I stopped asking God, what do you want me to do? I started asking God, where do you want me to serve? And that's when He revealed my mountain. So if you are in a place of uncertainty, if you are wondering what your mountain is or how to step into your influence, this podcast is for you. Okay? And we will walk this journey together. And life is a continuous discovery. Okay? So you continue to discover yourself every day. Here's my challenge to you. Spend some time this week in prayer asking God, what mountain have you called me to dominate? Be open to His leading, and it might just surprise you. Also, I want this podcast to be a conversation, not a monologue. Join our growing community, our platform, and join us across various platforms. Follow us on Instagram, Mountains of Influence Podcast. Follow us on LinkedIn, Mountains of Influence Podcast. And of course, on YouTube, you are going to subscribe to the AVO TV, the Abimbola Victoria League TV, to be able to subscribe and be able to watch the video part of this podcast. Okay. And so share your thoughts on those platforms, ask questions, and connect with others with similar or on the same journey. Okay, we've got a lineup of incredible guests who will blow your mind week after week with their stories and their insight. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a thing. Okay, and please share this podcast with someone you know, a friend, a colleague, maybe even your mentor. Let's spread the word and build a movement of kingdom-minded professionals taking their mountains for God's glory. Thank you for joining me, the Mountains of Influence podcast. Remember, you're called, you are chosen, and you are equipped to dominate your mountain. Until next time, keep shining for the kingdom and don't stop pursuing excellence in all that you do. I'll see you soon. Welcome to the Mountains of Influence podcast.